Good.
And we're now on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And who is? Oh, I should. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not quite ready actually.
Start the show with me, and then do whatever the fuck you want.
Okay, perfect. That'll give you time to look up some trivia.
Oh yeah, trivia.
So we'll start with John. We'll do me. We'll do the request. Jesse, David, which one of you guys want to close? 'Cause mine's not a closer.
I don't think mine's a closer.
I could close.
All right, we'll close with David. Okay, sweet. Yeah. Are you guys ready for the countdown?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome to Game That Tune!
Oh yeah, what's going on, everybody? It is Game That Tune back in the house once again. It's your boy John Harrington here. We got John Regan with us. Say hey.
Hey.
We got Jesse Moore. Say hey.
Hey.
And we got David Fleming. Say hey.
Hey.
Hell yeah, guys. Welcome back. Game That Tune in the house, and a little top of the show business there. We want to send our best wishes and, say rest in peace to Eddie Van Halen, who passed away this week. Had to lead off the show with something a little bit different right off the top. Man, that motherfucker could shred a guitar. And, that's an excellent start for what's going to be an excellent episode, guys. It's Game That Tune, episode 218 in the house. And if you're just joining us here on the show, we are going to listen to some video game tunes. Sadly, not much more Eddie Van Halen music. We are going to, each pick 3 songs from a game. We're going to try and guess each other's games based on the songs with a little bit of trivia. We're going to goof off and have a lot of fun. And the winner at the end of the night picks a theme for the next episode and plays some bonus tunes. And our winner last week, let me check my notes. It apparently was John Regan. And
What?
Johnny got to pick the theme for tonight's episode. So, Johnny, you get to tell us the fantastic theme for this episode.
Yeah, so tonight's theme is space. Oh, wait, what am I doing? Tonight's theme is...
How absurd!
No.
Oh my.
Tonight's
Really?
theme is...
Space!
This isn't real. This is not, that didn't
Johnny
really
gonna
legit just
Johnny.
happen.
So, yeah,
Wow.
last week I won. I didn't really have a great idea for a theme, so I just diverted to David. And David said space, which is a great theme. So it's games in space or near space, somehow involving space. That's a nice theme.
Jesus Christ. God. It's such a good theme. And I like that we're getting to the point, we're way past the point, honestly, where I can't tell if that was a work or not. I think that Johnny really just did that, and I love it. It's going to be a great episode, this space episode. I love a good game set in space.
Space.
So many games out there with levels taking place in space or on various other planets. Just a lot of fun to be had in outer space in video games. So we've it's a well-covered theme on the show. I don't know exactly off the top of my head how many times we've had space as a theme, but there's a reason we have that fucking sound on the soundboard. It comes up a good bit. So it's going to be a great show. I can tell David's excited. He's here as his mild-mannered alter ego, David Kent.
No, I was just gonna say, it's like, I love the fact that we literally have a sound on the soundboard for this theme, and Johnny fucked it up not once but twice.
I mean, yeah, it's one thing to imitate the sound, but then to play the wrong sound as a follow-up, truly transcendent game that tune. Just fantastic work. It's going to be a great episode. We got 5 great games. We've got a fantastic fan request as always. And I think, we just got to jump right into it, guys. So, Johnny, let's strap ourselves into that rocket. I'm trying to think if I do this as like the transitional bit every time we do a space episode. Let's, start the ignition sequence. 3, 2, 1. Make Space GTT go now.
Game 1.
All right, guys. So this game's developer, they were signed by Sony in 2012 following the success of the first game in this series to make games for the Vita. Of course, their games have since come out on other consoles. I suppose a better piece of trivia would have been that this game expands upon the first game's top-down vertical shooting levels by adding side-scrolling platforming levels. Maybe that'll push you in the right direction. Not that I expect anybody to have gotten this right.
Cool. You just confirmed that my guess was wrong.
Let's see. David says Gravity Rush. Johnny says Cortex Command. Jesse also says Gravity Rush. Sadly, all three incorrect. No. No, unfortunately, this is a game that I only just learned about recently. It originally was released on the PlayStation 3 and eventually was remade for the Vita. And I learned about it because it was on sale on the Switch eShop. This is a little game called Velocity 2X.
Cool.
The one you heard of, right, David?
Yeah, that classic PlayStation Vita to Switch port.
The common path of games, quite frankly. You know, the Vita Switch road. It's the way games go. But no, David, I think the whole point of this segment is going to be selling you on this game, man. This game's pretty cool. I don't know if it'll still be on sale by the time this podcast comes out, but as of the time that I bought it, it was on sale for $5, man. I'm gonna send you 5 clams, David, or somebody can go to Patreon and give you the $5 that you need to buy this game. And this game, I think it might be kind of inside your alley. So it's the original Velocity was a vertical scrolling shooter in space, and you're playing as Johnny. I thought you were going to hit that sound.
You kept going. I was like, shit, I missed it.
No, you can interrupt me, baby. Especially when it looks like you give a little lean, and I think it's coming. Oh, I'm bracing for it, man. I'm squinting. I don't want to get it in my eyes. But yeah, so it's a vertical scrolling shooter. You play as Commander Kai Tana, the pilot of a fancy corp jet. It's a teleporting spacecraft. So you're in the first one, you're doing these vertical scrolling shooter levels, and you have to activate switches in a certain order and do like teleporting things. Like as you progress in a level, you'll pass like, the number, like there'll be a numbered switch and you'll pass 3 before you pass 2 or 1. So you have to like set a teleport point by that, go ahead and further ahead in the level, complete those parts, teleport back, activate that switch to like ultimately open the gate to the end of the level. It's kind of a cool puzzle vertical scrolling shooter game. Which,
No, I was going to say, when you said, like, this segment's going to be selling you on this game, I decided to lean back in my chair. And every time you interested me, I started leaning further and further forward. And you've got me to the point where I'm right up to the microphone. So,
I was going to say, you're pretty close to the screen right now, baby.
Like, this sounds really cool.
Yeah, and so the second one keeps a lot of that stuff intact. I haven't gotten very far in it, obviously. But they add in side-scrolling levels to it, which are, they're kind of fun and light. They're not terribly challenging, but they use cool mechanics. That you've got, I think, as a result maybe of something that happened in the first game, you got like captured by the bad guys or something. You've got teleporting powers when on foot. So like the side-scrolling parts, they're real simple kind of platforming, but like you have to like phase through walls and like do some running and gunning. You're using the right joystick, like you're running with the left joystick and doing 360 shooting with the right. And it's, you're collecting crystals, you're blasting enemies, you're teleporting through walls. It's pretty fucking fun. And well, is David peaked again?
No, I was going to say, it's like, so it's a game that's split between controlling a vehicle and then on foot segments, but you're teleporting around. So is this basically Blaster Master plus Nightcrawler?
Something like that. If the Blaster Master platform like vehicle parts were a vertical scrolling shooter, and then when you got out on foot and like went in some of those larger dungeons, it became a side scrolling platform. No, it's not much like Blaster Master. But yes, it would be cool if it was a Nightcrawler game. I love me some Nightcrawler. But yeah, and then like at first when you start playing the game, like it's the early levels to the tutorial levels, you're learning your way around the ship, you're learning your different platform and mechanics, and then eventually they combine the two in like the same level. So you'll be doing a vertical scrolling shooter level, you'll shoot some switches, and then you'll have to dock the ship and complete a platforming section to do stuff, and then return to your ship and continue through the level. It's a really cool game, man. It's kind of rad. Like, I'm thoroughly enjoying it, and it seems it's got a little bit of that like that Mighty Switch Force element to it, not just because you're playing as like a badass female heroine, but because it's the game, it's focused on like high score stuff, so it's got like a par time and all that. It's like you can get a gold, silver, or bronze, and so it's always tracking your time. It's encouraging you to go back and do better. Like it tracks your time and the number of like crystals you gain and the number of people you rescue, and the number of enemies you defeat in each level, or like points or whatever. Like there's a bunch of little things in there to encourage you to go back and try and like hit the perfect run. And I'm really enjoying the game. It's I've yet to be frustrated by it. I find it very interesting and very fun.
Yeah, I'm looking up this game now, and just looking at screenshots of the platforming sections, they look really, really cool because it's like very industrial sci-fi black, like foreground, but then the backgrounds are all these like really soft, almost pastel like colored skyscapes. Like,
Yeah.
this is a good looking game.
And then she's wearing kind of like cyber armor with a big like swoosh of blonde hair. She's, you know, kind of rad looking. It's pretty cool, man. It's a lot of fun. It's, you know, the like when you learn all the mechanics, obviously everything, you know, gets tough as shit. Like you just, you know, like the levels start asking a lot of you. You got to slide and dip and jump and teleport and do all this stuff, shoot this, and then hop back in your ship. And the thing that's been throwing me for a loop a little bit on the scrolling parts is the scroll is very slow. So in order to speed that up, like one of the first things they introduce to you is holding down like the right trigger button on the controller. And that, you know, they say like, oh, that powers your jet and makes you go faster. It's like, yeah, that makes you go faster. And I realized quickly what it actually does is scroll the level. So like that activates the scroll and makes the scroll go faster, but you can still go forward and backward at the same speed, like on the screen. But this, you know, if you're holding that button, the screen is going to scroll. And the way you die in those scrolling levels is run out of space and get crushed or whatever. And it's like when I'm sitting there and I feel like I'm in the groove and I'm blasting things and phasing my ship and doing this stuff. And then I realize like, oh shit, I'm too keyed in and I fucking forgot I'm holding the scroll button. I just crushed myself. I'm like, John, you got to remember, stop holding that fucking button and like, you know, take your time, do the proper teleport move, shoot the thing. Like it's really interesting. There's a lot of stuff in play and it's a lot of fun, man. And it's got a cool soundtrack. I won't say it's the most memorable soundtrack, but I've been grooving on this soundtrack lately. Like it's really, really good.
Yeah, that's the kind of soundtrack I want to like hack things.
It doesn't seem like the kind of...
Yes, it's hacking soundtrack. I was just going to say, I've been wanting to add this soundtrack to GTT Radio since I discovered it, but I didn't want to tip my hand on the pick, obviously. But it's like, guys, I need you to hear these musics. Like, this is some smooth-ass music.
It's the kind of soundtrack that I don't know that I will find myself humming like on a daily basis, but it's one of those things that I will definitely put on in the background and just like groove on it.
Exactly. Like it's, you know, it's not, you know, a whole bunch of hummable melodies or anything like that, but it is on Spotify and I intend to listen to it all the time. Like, or I'm going to put it on GTT Radio and force people to, you know, have it requested. It's going to be really good. And it's cool too. The composer, obviously, since these guys started working closely with Sony, the composer of this, and I apologize if I'm butchering the name because it's, you know, European, I believe Dutch, is Joris de Man, or possibly Joris. It looks like Boris, but spelled with a J. I'm going with Joris. Joris de Man, who also composed Horizon Zero Dawn. So kind of a big time composer with a big credit under his belt. And then the other partial composer is one of the developers of the game, James Marsden. And unfortunately, that is not James Marsden that plays Cyclops. It's a different James Marsden. So I was a little disappointed when I got the soundtrack. I'm like, James Marsden? Okay, hold on. Is Cyclops doing a little programming on the side? No, turns out there's more than one James Marsden in the world. You know, is that the disappointment sound now, John?
Yes, yes it is.
Yeah, it turns out the star of Sonic the Hedgehog was not also making soundtracks to small...
Excuse me, the star of Sonic the Hedgehog was Sonic the Hedgehog, John.
I'm pretty sure James Marsden got above title billing, baby. Did he not?
Can you get above title if the name of the character is the title of the movie?
Yes, look where James Marsden's name is on the poster. It's above the goddamn title. It says James Marsden, Jim Carrey, Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic the Hedgehog, third billed in his own movie by virtue of the movie being called Sonic the Hedgehog. To say that this is not the same James Marsden.
Sonic the Hedgehog being third billed in his own movie. I mean, that makes sense. Like,
yeah, that feels appropriate. Right. Yeah. At this point, come on. Yeah. This isn't it's not 1993.
This was not a premeditated bit. No, I brought up Nightcrawler and then we started talking James Marsden. Like, are we sure this isn't an X-Men game?
Oh man, it really, really should be. Should I have put X-Men on the movie night vote for this week? That would have been, a nice touch. X-Men 2, actually, more accurately. because you got to have that Nightcrawler, baby. Can I just put the opening scene to X-Men 2 on the movie voting at some point?
Let's do a commentary for
short
the first 6 minutes of X2.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I love X2 completely, but let's just do the opening scene. It's fucking great. Oh man, thought of a fucking righteous mutant invading the White House just plays well in my heart. But yeah, man, Velocity 2X. It's a fun game, man. It's worth checking out, especially on sale. Fun scrolling shooter / side scrolling platformer with teleporting and badass female heroine. Yeah, if I haven't piqued David's interest by now, I don't think I know what David's interests are anymore.
Oh no, my interests have been thoroughly piqued.
Fantastic, David. Clean yourself up, Johnny. Let's move to game 2.
Game 2.
Alright guys, many critics have described this game as difficult. An author of the Italian newspaper La Repubblica said that the levels are not easy, and the Swedish edition of Segaforce described the game as both difficult and boring. What do you guys like? Another hint?
God, yes.
No.
In 2009, OneUp.com editor Bob Mackey reviewed the NES version
Wow,
of
Bob
this.
Mackey.
Bob Mackey. He liked the first level for mixing an impressive amount of references from the show with gameplay that has a pinch of point and click. But the rest of the game does not live up. All right, let's see some answers.
Man, that dude's a weenie.
Yeah, fuck that trivia, that guy, and this game.
Everyone wrote Bart versus the Space Mutants, and everyone is correct. This is Bart versus the Space Mutants. This is the Sega Genesis soundtrack because the NES soundtrack only has 2 songs. So I had to go with the Genesis version, and I was very disappointed to learn that the Genesis one doesn't have like the Simpsons theme at any point in the soundtrack.
I was going to say, yeah, the second song threw me for a loop because it sounded like they ripped off the Inspector Gadget song.
Well, Inspector Gadget ripped off in the Hall of the Mountain King. like that's a classical tune.
Okay, yeah, I mean, sure.
Whatever you say, Gadget.
I mean, you can talk about the Anvil's chorus all you want, but that's the fucking Looney Tunes music. Like,
Yeah, someone needs a shave and a haircut, 2 bits. But as long as we're just, mentioning old songs that get frequently used. Yeah, no, that is just, I had no idea what the fuck was going on until that trivia job. Fuck Bob Mackey and,
I figured the second I said
game.
Bob Mackey, that would give it away.
Yeah, it did. Ew.
This game is trash, and
Yeah, it is, man.
I was going to say, were you saying ew to Bob Mackey or ew to Bart versus the Space Mutants?
All of
be
it.
both.
yeah, but like I don't know about you guys, but I played the shit out of this game as a kid because it was like the only Simpsons game, that you could play at home.
No, John. Bart versus the World was a thing, and that was the one I played way more.
That one was pretty good.
Got skateboard on that goddamn Great Wall, baby. Instead of spray painting shit purple, you actually got to do something resembling fun. That said, Bart versus the World wasn't fun either. But man, no, I barely have this was one of those oh man, let's rent this and then be severely disappointed by it kind of games. Like, what an inscrutable shitbox of a fucking game this is.
What this and the arcade game came out in the same year, so I couldn't the disappointment of when you saw the arcade game and it's so great, and a lot of fun, and you see an NES game and comes out and you go home, you rent it, you take it home, and oh my god,
seriously, what were they thinking?
Well, and also, you see the Simpsons arcade game, it's a 4-player beat-em-up starring the Simpsons. That's badass. And then you see an NES game called Bart versus the Space Mutants. Fuck yeah!
Getting better!
You're gonna run around as Bart, not the whole family. It's a, port. I understand that. You don't have the arcade, fine. But you're just gonna go around fucking up Kang and Kodos? Hell yeah!
It's not Kang and Kodos! That's the worst part! It's just,
I mean,
these purple aliens.
They would never reveal themselves in the first level anyway. But yeah, no, the fact that by the end of the game, Kang and Kodos don't turn up is very fucking funny.
Did anybody get to the end of this game?
I never got past the shopping mall, the second level. That
There's
one
an
was
end?
rough.
Yeah, I may have made the second level once, maybe using a Game Genie, and regretted it and fucking threw that shit away immediately. Oh god. All I remember is the game just being, like I said, inscrutable, your objectives being very ill-defined, and I remember you can maybe bounce on an awning or a trash can or something. You can do a couple of mayhem type things in the early level, and then besides that, it's just terrible.
Yeah, so the first level has you like the aliens have built a machine that is powered off purple objects, so you have to spray paint all the purple things to make them not purple.
Right.
And there's some okay references and things. You can prank call Mo at the very beginning of the game and have him run out. And it turns out Mo's wearing a purple apron and you spray paint his apron, Yeah, it's like that's like there's some ideas going on there in terms of little bits, but it's not enough for a whole game by any means.
No, it is not.
And I think
The
part
thing
of
that-
it. Oh, go ahead, David.
No, go ahead, Johnny.
I think this kind of suffers from the same problem the arcade game did. Is this came out while like season 1, or this is being developed while season 1 was like airing? I'm pretty sure. So they didn't actually have that much material yet. Like King Kodos didn't exist. You know, they had like one prank call with Mo, and that's about it. Like after that, they're just like, well, we got Marge. Let's go. You know, here we go.
Yeah, shit. This did come out in like 91, so that is super duper early. And yeah, like they just had no base. Like, I'm trying to like, thinking of things that come up in like season 1. It's like, oh, what are you gonna fight the Frenchman?
You gonna help Marge save her marriage and not cheat on Homer with Jacques?
Yeah, exactly.
That would be actually great if they could.
Dude, if it was just an episode by episode like retelling of season 1 of The Simpsons, but also there are space mutants, maybe we're talking. But no.
Big plot twist in the final stage. The babysitter killer is actually a space mutant.
Perfect. That explains the shitty animation and the weird tits. They didn't know what human tits looked like when they drew Miss Bots. This is the deep Simpsons reference base that I'm digging into, baby. Oh, fuck this, man. Johnny, I've been avoiding asking this question. Do you even go to space in this game?
No, you do not go to space. The game does take place entirely on Earth. You see the aliens arriving from space, and you see the aliens leaving to go back into space.
Space!
At the end. But
don't do that, John.
At no point do you actually play like a level in space. So yeah, this is Part versus the Space Mutants. And
I will say I do remember like I played this game a lot when I was a kid, and there were parts of it that I
did you go into space, David?
No.
Oh, okay.
But before we play the game over sound, the one thing about this game that I remember really throwing me off was, in the first level, you're going down Springfield, like the main drag. You're trying to paint all the purple stuff red because the aliens are doing that. It's like, okay, so you've got, your Bart, you're spray painting, like that makes sense. And then when you get to the second level in the shopping mall, you're like kicking people's hats off. Like the whole goal is to like kick hats off. It's like the objective of the game changes every level, which really fucking threw me off because it never explains, here's what you're supposed to do for this level. You just have to figure it out.
I want to say it was in like the manual. Like the manual would explain the objectives.
It never had the fucking manual.
No, of course not. That's what's so funny. God. Johnny, this is a baffling pick on a number of levels. That seems to be the case with you lately, my man.
I feel like we all have a shared experience of we all played this shitty game.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about it with you guys and have sort of like a group therapy, about it. You know what I mean?
You could have brought it up on
That's
another
the theme.
episode, man. Set a theme. Set
Group
games with
therapy
purple.
theme.
Games
with
that scarred you.
Games with unclear objectives. Another edition of Hate That Tune is long overdue. But no, you chose the Springfield game for a space theme. It's tragic, John, to get a game over in game 2. But do it. Do it to yourself right now. Let's fucking move on, John.
Game 3.
All right, guys. So this game started life at the Toronto Global Game Jam in 2012. The idea of the game came about thinking how cool it would be to make a game out of that frantic scene in Star Wars where Han and Luke are climbing ladders and shooting at TIE fighters from the Millennium Falcon. And that eventually became this game. All right, guys. Who's got some answers? Oh, wow. So David has a UFO with a penis, and it's peeing in space, I think, and there's
That's good shit.
Yeah, that's you should take a picture of that before you erase it, like, for real. And then John and Jesse both wrote Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time, which is correct. This is our fan request from Taylor Y on our Discord.
I had that as my answer, but the Wikipedia page for that game did not specify the Toronto Games Festival, so I thought it was wrong.
Yeah, no, I actually
Well, wait a
went
minute.
off
You
with-
saying Johnny did some thorough research?
I went
He
off
went past
Wikipedia.
Wikipedia? Wowee.
So yeah, I forget what the official title. We just changed it, right? But Taylor Y is whatever the top tier Patreon title is.
Oh, yeah. Well, in order to get request priority, you don't have to be that top shelf fan, but we do thank him for being that top shelf fan. I do forget what all our tiers are called now. Shit.
Well, we'll come back to that come back to that in a bit. This is Lovers in Endangered Space Time. It's a pretty interesting looking game.
Oh. Taylor Y is the boss, as denoted by our favorite, boss of all time, the Dick Boss. So, give us $20 a month on Patreon to unlock the Dick Boss tier, where you get request priority, producer credit on the show, and you get to add a game to GTT Radio every month without us even using it on the show. It's a radio power play that Taylor Y is flexing right now. But yeah, go to Patreon, people.
So yeah, Lovers in Endangered Space Time. It's a game where you have a spaceship, and it's a like couch co-op kind of game. Each player takes control of a different station within the ship. So there's a station for like thrusters. There's 4 turrets. There's a station for accessing the map. A station for moving where the shields are around the ship. And the story of the game is that there's been like a hole in space-time, and anti-love creatures have come in through the hole, and they're trying to destroy love, and you gotta like destroy all those creatures to save love, right? That's where the lovers part comes in. And it looks like frantic as hell, but like in a fun way, right? You get a couple friends together, and you're all swapping around between different stations on the ship, trying to get shit done. The objective of each level is a couple of like bunny type characters have been captured, and you gotta save them, right? That's basically it. So they're like in a cage somewhere on the map. You're flying through space, dodging planets, dodging asteroids, fighting off enemies, solving little puzzles and trying to save these little bunny guys. And yeah, it's charming. It has visuals that look similar to Just Beats and Shapes almost in terms no, that's not a good one to go with actually. But it's like it's got a cool look, it's a fun bright look. And it's like a bullet hell, kind of game going on. And yeah, have any of you guys played this game or heard of this game?
I've heard the name, but I've never played it.
No.
Yeah. Well, it's on everything. You can get it on PC, Switch, Linux.
Engage?
What's that? Engage?
Yeah.
I think they made an Engage version, actually.
Oh. So you can
Don't say it's on everything, John, if you don't want to get asked about the Engage.
Atari Lynx.
That's on
Yeah.
me.
The links, baby.
That is
Amiga?
on me.
I like how it came out in 2015, and you're sure that there's an Engage port.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, people make stuff for Engage all the time, David. Just because it's, an older console doesn't mean people still don't make games for it. I mean, NES games have come out as recently as this year.
Yeah, take that.
Yeah.
Just because, it was discontinued in 2005. No, somebody 10 years later for sure remembered the Engage and ported this game to it.
Yeah.
I mean, they
just
had a
because
really
the Engage was famously discontinued and a total failure. Yeah.
They did have
doesn't-
a really interesting port of Tony Hawk on there.
Yeah. Just because the system totally failed completely doesn't mean there aren't people having Engage game jams, David. Yeah.
But
Even 10 years after.
I
mean, that
suppose
was-
the real question is Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time available on Gizmondo?
What? Whoa. All right, David, you threw me off on that one. I was not
He
expecting
got your ass, John. He
I
got
did
your
not
ass
get
good.
expected to get asked about Gizmondo tonight. Wow.
That
Oh,
thing
yeah.
was weird.
It's weird for me because, I don't even know what that is. I just use Gizmondo as a sex move. But,
No, that's
It was a-
Gizmondo.
Oh, I've been mispronouncing it this whole time.
It's a soft G, John.
Yeah.
Oh,
Very soft.
What a fool
Just
I've been.
Oh.
And buttery.
Just for a very quick tangent, the Gizmondo was a handheld device that was used like a handheld gaming console that was supposed to be independent, and it failed spectacularly after the creator, I believe, crashed his sports car trying to claim insurance money because he had debt and ties to the Swedish mafia.
Was he playing the Gizmondo while he was driving, and that's why he crashed?
Maybe.
Probably. Classic mistake.
No,
Ah,
not again.
sorry, I'm sorry. I was playing my Gizmondo.
Excuse me. No, it's
It's
pronounced
clearly on
sir.
drugs. Take him away, boys. No, John, this game looks kind of cool, man. Like I can't tell what's going on based on screenshots of it, but it's very colorful and very charming looking.
You definitely got to watch video to even begin to get an understanding. Like the screenshots really don't do it justice.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're looking, the ship is like a big round Death Star looking kind of thing, right? And
Sure.
you have
And you're
along
moving
it-
through levels, and you guys each do a different station.
Yeah.
And fight big. Like I'm looking at this, it looks like there's a big space sloth or something. I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah,
Like-
big space, anti-love enemies.
Yeah.
And
Cool.
it's got fun power-ups. I saw one power-up of a ball and chain that you attach to the bottom of the ship, and you start driving the ship around, swing this ball and chain. Like it's like not ball, but what do you call the ball and a chain that has the spikes on the ball? One of
Mace.
those-
Morningstar.
Mace.
Morningstar.
Thank you, Morningstar. That's what I'm looking
One of
for.
those.
Yeah, Mace is the one where it's attached. Morningstar is on the chain.
Yes. So you have a big Morningstar attached to your ship that you swing around, fuck shit up with. It looks
I like that.
Yeah, it's got some cool ideas here, and like I said, I could imagine, 4 guys in a room, and you're all shouting at each other about what's going on and what to do. Like that's the part that sounds like a lot of fun to me.
Oh, I bet.
Like shields, get out of the goddamn shields, like.
Yeah, I bet it's a blast. Get 4 adult men really taking something seriously on the same couch. I bet it's a lot of fun.
Oh man.
Shit. Yeah. I don't know, man. It looks cool. I don't know that it's something I'll ever play because if it's strictly couch co-op, then no, I have no means to get 4 people together and play this. But it seems cool. Yeah, and I don't want to burn on it too hard because it's a nice game, charming game, cool soundtrack. The name of this game is fucking dumb.
Yeah.
Just gonna say it. Apparently on the Wikipedia page it says it's a reference to a song by Canadian folk rock legend Bruce Cockburn. Thank you, Bruce Cockburn, for the song "Lovers in a Dangerous Time." That is everyone's bonus tunes tonight. Johnny, begin downloading it now.
No.
But it's wow, what an obscure reference to name your obscure game after. If you want to guarantee that I'm going to scroll right past your fucking game, call it Lovers in a Dangerous Space Time. If maybe the title contains lovers, I'll stop and take a look. Maybe the title contains space time. I'll think about taking a look. I was playing a game earlier tonight about teleporting spaceships. You call your games Lovers in a Dangerous Space Time and it's bright pink. I think this game is about animals fucking in a spaceship, and I'm not gonna click on it.
Yeah, I definitely had a hard time at first because I forgot the name when I was looking it up earlier, and I started googling. We found love in a hopeless space time. That's definitely not it.
That sounds good too.
Yeah, I mean, there are so many better songs this could be named after. Some space time that I used to know. Trying to think of just any 2010 song that they could have chosen to name this after. But man, my pop culture brain for the last 10 years is all fucked up. I got no base for this. Anyway, no, this game looks charming. I'm not going to burn on it too hard. But now we do need to get Canadian folk rock legend Bruce Cockburn on the show at some point. Yeah, I wonder if he even knows they used his song as a namesake for this fucking ridiculous game. I'm betting Bruce didn't sign off on it.
What kind of dangerous lover do you think he is?
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, like, what is a dangerous time to be a lover? That sounds like a line from Solid Snake.
Oh,
like,
yeah. Oh, yeah. Ooh, okay.
Could Bruce Cockburn secretly be Solid Snake?
Oh, I thought you were going to say Kojima.
No. Bruce Cockburn is the Canadian folk rock alter ego of Hideo Kojima.
I
Johnny,
believe it.
I like where your head's at.
I can see that happening, man.
Right? I'm into it. Oh, man. Yeah. Wow. What a game. Honestly, if the four of us ever get together in person again, I think one of us needs to bring the Space-Time Lovers, and I think we should all play it together.
Yeah.
See, if you just distill it down to Space-Time Lovers, the game sounds completely different. You have to say the full stupid-ass title, Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time. You can't abbreviate it. But yeah.
I'll have to check. It may have an online mode. I didn't get that far into it because all the reviews talked about it being a great couch co-op game, right?
Right.
I
bet it's a good Discord co-op game.
Yeah.
We've all been playing Among Us this week, so let's get let's crash Twitch again by making Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time the new game that everybody's playing.
I've never tried to play a video game with my couch. Oh, fuck you, Johnny. I have the fucking title. So shove it up your ass.
Yeah, the title makes Jesse immune from the Mario 2 sound for no matter how bad the joke is. Now, that's a
quick.
perk.
Somebody timestamp that. That's going in the next free play jingle.
All right, lovers. Johnny, speaking of lovers, show a little love to our patron yet again who made this request, and then let's move the fuck on from this game.
Thank you, Taylor Y, for the request. We love you. We love your money. And
we love your money.
You broke up there on money. In my headphones, I was like, I couldn't tell if you said we love your money, we love your mom, or we love your
mom,
mouth.
Taylor.
Yeah.
It could be all of it.
And
Maybe
I
he
didn't
was
want
just
to
going full Jamaican, like, we love you, man.
We love your mom.
Never do that again, David, please.
David always do that.
God.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You're going to offend Taylor. Taylor's super Jamaican. Yamaoka is a Jamaican last name, right?
Very. Incredibly.
Yeah. Johnny, let's move the fuck on.
Please.
Game 4.
Taylor Jamaica.
So this game has 13 different classes in it, 4 of which you can only get by having 2 of the characters become soulmates during a camping scene. And then they have, a kid, and that kid becomes one of the 4 question mark classes. All right, guys. Just real quick, I love the fact that that song is called Yes, You Can Pet the Dog. So that's pretty good. Anyways, let's see some answers. Johnny drew a, I think it's
What's
a
that
ska
doing
dick.
back on the show?
David said Fire Emblem in space. That's incorrect.
Space.
And John said Mass Effect 3. Incorrect. No, this is Star Renegades. Yeah, this is Star Renegades. It came out this year, a few months ago, and it's pretty cool. It's like a RPG slash roguelike type deal where you do different runs. Um, and the premise is basically there are these aliens that are like destroying different planets and stuff, and you have to try to stop them. And then if you fail, you just go to another timeline to try to save the universe in that timeline. And that explains why when you die, you have to start over and stuff. Um, it's got a really cool like turn-based battle system, very similar to like the Grandia games, where there's like a little timeline on the top that shows where your characters are going to attack and where the enemies are going to attack. And so your attacks push them back and can even make them so they don't attack. So that's really cool. You can get double team moves as you play. Like with the camping system, you use these cards that give each other buffs, and then you earn like friendship and stuff with each other. And like I said, you can become soulmates, and then they have kids. I assume they're doing things at the camp. Let's see what else is important. Oh, there's kind of like a nemesis system, like from the Mordor games, which is pretty cool. Basically, when you kill a boss, it gets removed. But if the boss kills you, then it gets upgraded and is more powerful the next time you face it, and it remembers killing you, which is pretty cool. The art style is really cool. It's got like this pixely type deal, but like the environments remind me of Octopath Traveler a little bit. But it's a really, really cool game so far.
Nice.
Cool.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, I'm looking. Looks like somebody posted a screenshot of it, and it looks really cool. I see what you mean about the like Octopath backgrounds.
Yeah, it's cool. Like when you're wandering around the map, like it looks very like diorama-y, and it's pretty cool. Whenever you die, though, you see basically you're playing this little robot, and he like leads the your party members around. So like he gets to survive and go to the next timeline and stuff, and he's pretty much gathering the troops along and stuff, and he kind of levels up as you play. So there is like a way to progress, and like the more you play, the better your chances are of getting further. And there's like 3 different planets you have to go to, and you find weapons along the way and stuff. It's it's really cool.
And it's in space.
Yes, you go to several different planets.
Space!
I love
You okay,
playing that
John?
stuff.
You are.
Yeah.
You're just so proud of yourself, aren't you?
I am. No, yeah, this sounds awesome. I can't tell if John's very still or if he froze. Oh, okay.
Oh,
Okay, that answers that.
Yeah, I think John had an
I was
issue.
wondering why he was being real quiet and stuff.
Yeah.
He's back, I think. He's still not moving.
Oh,
there you go.
there you
All
goes.
right, my connection's all fucked up. I've been killing programs in the background and running speed tests and shit. You guys have been choppy this whole fucking conversation. So this is Star Octopath Traveler. That's all I got.
Almost.
Yeah.
Almost.
No, I mean honestly, I was looking at some screenshots. This does look pretty cool. So it's like little turn-based battles. I like the vibe. Like the space stuff. I like the fucking. I like creating new character classes by having kids. I like any game that lets you have a kid and makes it part of the game. Like, it's like you have a kid, cool. He's in your party now. Oh, okay, cool. I guess we're just putting him in harm's way right now. All right, dope. Throw him in. But, frankly, that's why I thought this was Mass Effect, despite the nonsense soundtrack.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Wouldn't that have just been the best? You get to Mass Effect 3 and you have some weird half shepherd, half alien kid that joins your party. Frankly, I'm into it.
That's the dream, I think.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people realize their dream of fucking hot alien women by playing that game, or men. And so the logical progression is Mass Effect 3. It's all babies, so. I'm sorry. I missed so many fine details. I don't want. It'll be bad podcast for me to ask you to fill me in. But the game looks very cool, and it came out this year, and it's on Steam. And so you said it's kind of Grandia combat. Like, does the placement of your units on the grid have anything to do with it, or is it just turn based in a nice little environment?
It's just turn based.
Okay.
But basically, whenever you attack. You can knock the other characters like off their timing.
Yes.
So, like you can just eliminate a character from that turn completely, or you can just push them back enough to where you can get enough hits in to kill them before.
That's cool. Yeah, that is reminiscent of Octopath Traveler. I don't know if you ever actually played that, but
oh, really? That's in Octopath too?
There's a break system in Octopath where if you every enemy has like a counter of like sometimes you'll encounter a real strong enemy, it's like 11, but like on basic enemies it'll be like 3, and if you hit them with an attack that they're weak to multiple times, you break them and they're just out for a turn, and you can just fucking pound them for an extra turn. It's pretty cool.
It's kind of like that. You can take their turn away.
So if you're telling me this is kind of like Space Octopath Traveler involving fucking and creating new character classes for your kids, actually I'm kind of bought in now. Like, that sounds pretty good, man.
Yeah, it's cool. It's very difficult. I've only gotten to as far as the second planet. And let's see. Oh, and like I was saying with the dog part, you can go into this space bar and there's like this little space band playing, and they have this like little like 2-second part of the song that sounds almost like the Mos Eisley song. And, but there's like a corgi or a Shiba Inu. I'm not exactly sure what kind of dog it is, but you go to pet it and it's like, why did you do that? And like, it's like, cause you're a dog, and like, you can keep talking to it and it gets really upset the more you talk to it. It's pretty great. And he's like, I'm just going to start repeating myself. And so like after like about 30 lines of dialogue, then he starts over. But there's a lot, like you just keep pressing it. You're like, this dog keeps saying different stuff. This is cool. It's funny, I
mean, I like anytime you can pet a dog in a game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say what you will about Breath of the Wild. It did a lot of things right. But it didn't let you pet those dogs. And I feel like that crystallized a lot of people's tastes. Like, okay, hold on. You made a big, beautiful game. You put a gorgeous looking, herding dog in that game, and you don't give Link the option to pet that dog. I feel like it set a lot of people straight. Like, if you're gonna put a dog in a game, you make your character able to pet that dog.
Exactly.
Rules is rules, baby.
Honestly, one of the things that ruined Game of Thrones season 7 was Jon Snow never petting the damn dog. And then in
one of the things.
Then season 8, they like had a shot of him petting the dog because people complained so much about him never petting the dog.
Because it was fucked.
Yeah, like who doesn't pet a dog?
I mean, that's why there's the whole Twitter account of "Can you pet the dog?" and it just goes game by game. Can you pet the dog in this game?
The dog in it? Can you pet it? Yes or no? Because frankly, that Twitter account could be more influential than it realizes. Like,
it's big.
You just talked us right out of a sale, baby. Can't pet the dog. But no, this game looks pretty cool, man. I as I'm now being a little bit of a Steam boy, I might have to check this thing out. Is it also on Game Pass for you?
Oh, you know it.
You Game Pass boy? Oh,
yeah.
I know it. Yeah. How else do you play games, man?
Yeah. Well, I saw it. I saw stuff for it like months before it came out, and I'm like, oh man, I need to keep my eye on this game because it looks really cool. Yeah. And then they said it was on Game Pass. And I'm like, even better.
Yep. I'm there. Sounds good, man. Well, hell yeah. Anything else on Star Renegades? Cool ass game with some cool vibes and pretty great soundtrack.
Yeah, I mean that's all you need to know, I guess. It's
Yeah, if you're going
it's
to
great.
space, give me some sick ass vibes and some good ass soundtrack.
Space.
Real synthy and
Thanks,
great.
John. Yeah. Love it.
Game 5.
This game features a fictional game fan magazine whose letter selection includes letters from names like Hugh Jass, Mike Roch, and Homer Sexual, a reference to The Simpsons. I have an additional piece of trivia if anyone would like that.
Sure.
It won't help it. Go ahead.
So, we have one vote for no, one vote for it doesn't matter. My Lord, King Jesse, would you like additional trivia? Okay. So this game sold poorly in North America with fewer than 100,000 copies being sold. Many believe this is because the game received no advertisement and was based on a Japanese television series.
Japanese TV game filled with Simpsons references. Interesting.
So, John Regan says Bart versus the World. Incorrect. John Harrington says Black Hole Dick. Incorrect. And Jesse just says Gundam. Sadly incorrect.
Probably right.
Although that's a good guess. This is Retro Game Challenge.
Oh! Wait, does this game take place in space?
So, of the
David.
unlockable games in this game, two
No,
of
does
them.
this game take place in space?
So the game features 2 games set in space.
But does the game that you're playing in order to play those games take place in space? Like, are you in a spaceship playing asteroids?
Well, the game that you're playing involves playing games that take place in space. It's a very meta game.
So, are you in space? I'm still not understanding.
Space!
Surely that'll
Thank you,
settle
Johnny.
things.
So the game is set in a living room. You don't actually see outside, so it may be set in space. However,
It damn well better be, David.
multiple games that you play take place in space.
So you used music from just one of those?
This is complicated, man, because, if this game's framing device doesn't take place in space and you're playing a game in which you're playing as a character playing other games that take place in space, we got complications here, man.
Do we really? It's my
Unforeseen
it's Johnny's
complications.
theme.
Well,
Game over!
No, I'm just kidding. We're not going full game over. No, this takes
Okay,
place.
what?
Elements of this game take place in space. I think this game takes place in space.
I mean, games
So-
within the game take place in space. That's frankly good enough for me.
Yeah.
There is
Not
more
good enough
in-
for our exalted one here.
There is more in space in this game than Bart versus the Space Mutants.
Hey,
Yeah. Well, yeah.
David, never compare your successes or your attempts at success to
Yeah.
Johnny's failures.
don't out Johnny, please.
Clearly,
Yeah.
every game has more to do with space than Bart versus the Space Mutants.
Every game that we choose has more to do with the theme than anything that Johnny chose. We've established that.
Mario Kart has more to do with space than Bart versus the Space Mutants.
Yeah,
Well,
there's
yeah,
levels that
because
take place
Rainbow
in
Road
space,
is in
Johnny.
space,
God,
you
what is
idiot.
wrong? Ugh.
Yeah, that's what
Okay,
I'm saying.
I didn't want to spend this segment talking about, whether or not this game fits the theme. I wanted to spend this segment talking about this game because this game's been in my back pocket for a long time, and it's honestly,
Is your back
One of
pocket
my-
in space?
this is honestly one of my favorite DS games. I can talk about the game, or we can game over and do the calculating computer.
No,
I don't know.
no.
You
Talk about the
decide.
game, dude. What's the story of this game here? I feel like I'm the only one on your team, but I do want to hear about this game.
The game is it's a hard pitch because it's basically a mini game collection, which doesn't sound interesting at all. But it's based on this Japanese TV show where a guy basically challenges himself to play like old retro video games. So the way that the game is set up is you play as a kid. playing games with a friend of yours and having to do these challenges. So the games are all like made up. There's no, fuck, I had the list. Hang on for a second. There's like 6 or 7 games that you can unlock and play. And they span the whole gamut of like classic NES or Famicom type games. So it starts off with like a Galaxian style space shooter. And then you unlock like a rally game. It's basically a racing game, but it's kind of that like Rally X Namco style racer. There's actually a whole series that's the Haggleman series, where like Ninja Haggleman 1 and Ninja Haggleman 2 are like super simple, like single screen platformer games where you're fighting enemies. And then you get Ninja Haggleman 3 that's basically Ninja Gaiden, because a lot of old retro games, like you had Zelda 1 and then Zelda 2 was very different. And like Castlevania 1 and Castlevania 2 was very different. Like this game does that.
Okay.
You get there's a game that's basically like a pastiche of Star Soldier, another space-based shooting game, and then you get Guardia Quest, which is like a parody homage to Dragon Quest, which is actually really cool because it's a full like 6-hour RPG that's basically a mini game. Like you could have released Guardia Quest as like its own standalone NES style RPG. But Jesse's not having it, and it's really getting to me.
No, David, I'm listening, man. Don't mind him.
And it's really cool because like not only do you have each of these individual games are fun and enjoyable to play, and each one shows like the history of retro gaming and all that, because you start with really simple space shooters, and then eventually like the final games are full-fledged enjoyable experiences. But you also, it throws back to that retro style because you go over to your friend's house and he's talking about this magazine that he got because he has a subscription to this fictional game magazine that gives you cheat codes and gives you hints and gives you like previews of upcoming games, and then you later unlock those games. So it's a really fun game.
So, totally off the record, I'd just like to say I have played this game and it is really cool.
But that's not in character for what's going on right now.
Still not in space. Continue, David.
I mean, when you have a game that's comprised of like 6 games, 2 of which are space shooters, I think that you can have it in a game that's themed about space.
I mean, like, I'm with you, David, but it's the problem is the meta-ness of it. It's one thing if it's just like a game comprised of other games, but it's the framing device, man. The framing device isn't in space. It's a sticking point. You know, if there were just a space level in a game, then, you know, then we're in business, baby.
Picture this.
There's 2 space levels in this game because the levels are games that you play, 2 of which take place in space.
Picture this.
But they're not levels. They're games being played by an avatar within the game. You're playing as a character playing those games. So
picture this. I say, hey, David, I have this Star Trek game for you, and I give you the Star Trek game. And it all takes place in the holodeck, and they're all playing like Robin Hood and shit with Q. And you like, oh, this is not Star Trek. This is just fucking Robin Hood.
Okay, I thought you had a follow-up to that because you were just saying, picture this, and I'm picturing that scenario, and I don't know what I'm supposed to get out of it.
Exactly.
Friends.
All right, fine. Game over.
No.
Should have chosen the theme of TV games.
No. Johnny played the friends sound. That's the reconciliation sound. Let's, settle this like adults, man. David, this game sounds really fun.
Yeah.
This game is really fun. And like I said, it didn't get any advertisement. It sold very poorly. They did make a sequel with even more additional games to it, including a sequel to Guardia Quest, which was the RPG. One thing that I love is there are so many like perfect tiny details and references. Like they were hyping up this Guardia Quest RPG in the magazine, and then a year later it comes out. Like the game experienced delays before it was released, because of course that always fucking happens. And yeah, like I said, there's cheat codes that they would do, and Jesse is going to very fun living room game, 5 out of 5.
He won't say it. The board is out of character for him right now.
If you can track down Retro Game Challenge, I highly recommend playing it.
Same.
The sequel was never released. There is a fan dub of it.
Whoa, hold on. I'm sorry. The sequel was never released?
Okay, the sequel was never released in English in America.
Okay, thank you. I was like...
But apparently there is like a fan sub version. I have not played that, but no, it's a fun game, and it's a great game. Like I said, it's probably one of my favorite DS games, and one of the things that I really enjoyed about it was going back and playing those old style space shooters like Galaxian, Space Invaders, and all that. It really nails that retro vibe.
Yeah, no, it's cool because it's got the Namco, pedigree on it. I mean, obviously it wasn't like full blown developed by Namco, but they must have seen something in it to see fit to publish it. And I think it, probably if I ever knew about this, it's another one of those things that would have gone overlooked, not for having a dumb name like Lovers in a Dangerous Space Time, but for having a name like Retro Game Challenge. If I were to see that on, since it's a DS game, I assume a GameStop shelf, I would be like, that sounds like some shovelware Carnival Games ass shit. Like, maybe some compilation of like Space Invader type games that I'm not interested in playing on the DS. Pass. So I mean, I'm glad to know that it's its own thing and that it's got a unique kind of vibe going, but I kind of wish it had done a little bit more to, sell guys like me. Because, I think it sounds really cool, and, it seems really cool. I'm looking at the cover now, and actually, Jesse, I'm sorry, man, but this cover, you got to make it official. That cover's in space. The box art of this game is in space. It's a space game.
How absurd!
Thank you, John.
Probably could have gone with the space sound there, but you know what? We'll take Akuma.
Yeah, thanks, Finn.
Yeah, I don't know why I put how absurd on D, which is right next to S for space.
D? D for how absurd?
How absurd!
To be fair, I guess how absurd ends with D, and going with the ending letter instead of the first letter is pretty absurd.
He does really drive home that D. Johnny, play it again. I want to hear the D.
How absurd!
It's, is it... I'm flummoxed as to why that would be on D. Like, it's Akuma.
Because Akuma's going to give you the D.
I guess. I mean, is it because that time we talked to voice actor Dave Malo, the voice actor of Akuma, is D for Dave Malo?
No, I'm not that creative or clever. Like, that's not. A was taken.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
With that.
That could be B.
Well, B is taken.
Okay, well, bonus game on B makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, A, little bit of the bubbly makes sense.
Just a quick question. Is H taken?
Yes.
Hot take.
Okay.
You see my conundrum.
Johnny, what about the Akuma kanji, the Masatsu? Is that button taken?
No. Oh my God, no! This whole time I've had
the Masatsu key is free. Damn it, John! You should have keyed Akuma to the Masatsu.
How about O for Oni?
Okay, yeah, O's free. I just hit O, nothing happened.
What about M?
M?
My man.
That makes sense. Okay, yeah, you can't take my man. But yeah, O for Oni. That's it. Akuma saying how absurd. Yeah, makes sense. Anyway, Cyber Akuma maybe was in space once. David, anything else on Retro Game Challenge?
No, it's like I said, it's a great game. If you can find it, definitely pick it up.
Hell yeah. Jesse, anything else on Retro Game Challenge?
I mean, it's fun. It's not in space. It's fun.
Johnny, start the computer.
Calculating computer activated. Computers, beeps,
Oh, sorry, I was checking up on the chat. What was that?
boops. Scoring complete. This game's winner is
What the fuck?
John Harrington.
Whoop, whoop. How did this happen?
What was the score?
2-2, baby.
Oh, come on.
Now, hold on. We can't establish the dangerous precedent that the king belt gets you the tiebreaker every time. Does it?
Again, where were these rules back when I was reigning king?
Oh man, you know that's the beauty of making it up as we go along, baby.
Y'all better fucking fear if I ever become king again.
Yeah. We'll just have to not let that ever happen. Anyway, man, what a show, what a win, what a half win by me. It feels good, Jesse. I can tell you're a little salty on this one, so I'll share the win with you.
I have very topical bonus music.
I like that, man. Tropical theme for the next episode. Some tropical bonus.
No,
tunes.
topical.
Oh,
Like an ointment.
like an ointment. Okay, cool. So the theme, then, I assume, if you have topical bonus tunes, involves anal fissures. No,
Well, it had nothing to do with what my theme was going to be, but
That's cool. No, we'll work together on this one, man. We'll finish this show out strong. It's it's my honor to win this episode. Jesse, did you have a fantastic theme in mind for next week's episode? Because I kind of did.
yeah, I did. But
I want to hear it, man. What do you think? What are you thinking?
my theme was going to be games that remind you of other games.
See, that's almost in line with my theme. I can barely remember my spiel that I had as justification for it, but I was thinking crossover games. We go to games with characters from more than one series. So
I see. Yeah.
You want to do a little bit of you, a little bit of me. What are we thinking?
I mean, crossover's fine.
Crossovers sound good.
Johnny somehow has the power to declare you winner, so that's cool.
Yeah, we really got to get that soundboard out of his hands, man. We're gonna, Johnny's like Charlton Heston, man. We're gonna pry that thing from his cold, dead hands.
Wait, does that mean you're gonna murder me? Please don't do
No,
that.
man,
No, we're gonna make David do it.
Yeah, we're gonna wait until you die and then pry the soundboard from your cold, dead hands. You damn dirty ape. I'm getting my Heston references crossed.
Not a monkey, by the way.
Speaking of crossovers, crossing over multiple Heston references. Okay, cool. So, I think that's great. We got a great theme for next week's episode. Crossovers, games with characters from more than one series. A theme we've done before, but a theme that's a lot of fun. And I think it's going to be a blast. So, awesome to hear that. And man, what a show we had tonight. What a great episode. What a blast. A blast into space, as it were.
Space! A little bit of the bubbly.
Johnny, you gotta move one of those keys. Literally pry the key out of your keyboard and move it somewhere else. Can you put the A key across the room somewhere?
I could.
Good. What's on Q, John? What's Q?
Nothing's on Q. Q's free.
Put bubbly on Q.
Okay.
I'm not sure why, but just do it. So anyway, yeah, what a fantastic show we had tonight. What a fun episode. Games in Space. And thank you everybody so much for watching along live with us. We're live every Wednesday night. We're on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. Search for Game That Tune. Thanks to everybody listening in podcast form or in your podcast devices on Tuesday morning. Search for Game That Tune. Leave us a rating, a review. Tell us how great we are. Thanks to everybody checking out patreon.com/GameThatTune. We got a lot of fun stuff going on over at Patreon. We've got GTT Gems, the 30-2010 of video game music. We've got Covered Up. We've got mixtapes. We've got movie commentaries. At the time of recording, we got a movie commentary coming up this Friday night, so go vote in our Discord. as of the podcast time, you all will have enjoyed a fantastic commentary either on Demolition Man or Predator. So it's going to be a blast. Check out patreon.com/GameThatTune and consider throwing us a couple of bucks. We really love the support. And there was a time where we felt like we had a lot of it. So I would love to see some people turning up there and speaking with their dollar as to how much they love Game That Tune. Special thanks to our absurd producers, Alex Messenger, Lance Revere, Damian Beckles, Bradford Stevens, Daniel Perky, Taylor Y, Sam L, and Mork. Last but not least, Mork. Fantastic set of fellas as absurd producers over there at Patreon. Thank you to Taylor Y, the most the boss Taylor Y. He's at that special tier for his request tonight. He made his request via Discord, but you can also hit us up via email, gamethattune@gmail.com. Hit us up on Twitter at gamethattune, or find us individually on Twitter. We love getting requests, talking shit, talking games, just goofing off on Twitter with you guys. You can find me at jgangsta187. You can find John Regan on Twitter at
JPReganJR.
You can find David Fleming on Twitter at
DFT Fleming.
And you can find Jesse Moore, the Exalted One, and the co-winner of tonight's show on Twitter at
Sega_legend.
All right, man. So, Jesse, you had the topical bonus tunes. I'm curious to know what they are.
So, recently, I don't know if you remember, back in the day, like Japanese PlayStation stuff, Circle was always confirmed, which was really weird because over in America, X was confirmed. You know, it just makes sense. But recently, for the PlayStation 5, Japan has been like, okay, fine, X is going to be confirmed now. And so with that being a new thing, I've been in love with this YouTuber, Silva Gunner, and he has this really cool mix of it's a Super Mario RPG song and X gonna give it to you. And I just, because the X button.
That's pretty goddamn topical, Jesse. But I'm going to start a new feud storyline with you. We're going with my bonus tune. It's a crossover, baby. We're going with Galactic Parade because it's a song from space, and it's a song in Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed, a game with many crossovers. Peace out, everybody! In your face, Exalted One. Are we not doing Jesse's tunes too? I thought you got that cue.
Oh,
I did order you to do that.
hold on. Sorry, I had the volume turned down. Here we go.
X gon' give it to you. Fuck, wait for you to get it on your own. X gon' deliver to you. Knock, knock, open up the door and spread. The non-stop pop out, stainless steel. Go hard, getting busy with it. I got such a good heart that I make a motherfucker wonder every day. Damn right, can I do it again? Yeah, I am like some got to break bread with the enemy. No matter how many cats I break bread with, I break who you sending me. You motherfucker. that's on a light day. I'm getting down, down. Your nigga said freeze. Won't be the one ending up on his knees, bitch, please. The only thing you got still was came out to play. Stay out my way, motherfucker. We gonna go, we let it pop, don't let it go. It's gon' give it to you, we gon' give it to you. It's gon' give it to you, we gon' give it to you. First we gonna rock, then we gonna roll, then we let it pop, don't let it go. They ain't never gave nothing to me. Every time I turn around, cats got their hands out, wanting something from it. I ain't got it, so you can't get it. Let's leave it at that, cause I ain't with it. Hit it with full strength. I'm a jail nigga, so I face the world like a girl in the bullpen. You against me against you. Whatever, whenever, now the fuck you gon' do? I'm a wolf in sheep clothing. Only nigga that you know who can chill. Come back and get the streets open. I've been doing this for 19 years. Niggas wanna fight me, fight these tears. I put in work and it's all for the kids. These cats still forgot what work is. They don't know who we be, but they don't know who they see. Nigga, we gonna rock, we gonna roll, we let it pop, don't let it go. It's gon' give it to you, we gon' give it to you. It's gon' give it to you, we gon' give it to you. First we gonna rock, then we gonna roll, we let it pop, don't let it go. Where my niggas at? I know I let them down in the beat, give them love and they give it back. Talk too much for too long. Don't give up, you're too strong. Up to the wild, wild hunters. Shout out to niggas that done it. And it ain't even about the dough. It's about getting down for to stand for yo. For real. We gonna rock, then we gonna roll, then we let it pop, don't let it go. It's gon' give it to you, we gon' give it to you. It's gon' give it to you, we gon' give it to you. First we gonna rock, then we gonna roll, then we let it pop, don't let it go. It's gon' give it to you, we gon' give it to you. It's gon' give it to you, we gon' give it to you. First we gonna rock, then we gonna roll, then we let it pop, don't let it go. It's gon' give it to you, we gon' give it to you. It's gon' give it to you, we gon' give it to you.
Velocity 2X is copyright 2014 Future Lab. The Simpsons Bart vs. the Space Mutants is copyright 1991 Imagineering and Acclaim Entertainment. Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time is copyright 2015 Asteroid Base. Star Renegades is copyright 2020 Massive Damage Incorporated. Retro Game Challenge is copyright 2007 Namco Bandai Games.